in the day in the meadow where my mother used to watch my father pass by every day. Anyway, I always knew who he was and would see him pass by every day. Of course, who doesn't? But I never really knew him, and he wasn't really around. I mean, not around.
Where might we find a more precise illustration of the dangers of premature initiation than in this ancient tale of parental indulgence and neglect?
I went to an expensive school, and the kids there were all, sons of the rich and famous. And one day, we're all on the playground, and this one kid, Epiphas, he goes to me, "So, Phaeton, who's your father? Blah, blah, blah. What does he do? Blah, blah, blah." So I say, "My father's the sun." He says, "Tell me another." I say, "No, he's the sun. He's Phoebus Apollo." And then he just basically trampled me, just basically beat the shit out of me, like I was lying.
Neither his own opinion of himself, nor regard for him or lack of it in his peers, obviates the father's primitive role as initiating priest to the younger being.
So I go home and say, "Mom, this happened, at school," and she gets all upset, crying and everything, because she still loves him too, and it's an insult to her as well. And I say, if that's true, how come there's no proof? It's unfair to us, that there's no proof. Then she just gets even more upset, and she says, "Hear me, my child. In all his glory, your father looks down upon us. I swear, by his splendor, you are truly his begotten son. That fiery orb you see crossing the sky each day, whose heat enlivens and enables the world, and orders our days and nights, is indeed your sire. Believe me, my darling." Blah, blah, blah.
Once he matures beyond the customary eating of the mother breast, the child seeks to individuate beyond its enfolding gaze, and thus turns to new passages of the eternal realm, thus beginning his spiritual passage from one sphere to the next.
So she tells me to go over to the valley, where my dad goes to work every day, and just ask him to set things straight, to, do right by me. So I set out, and it's hot, and it's dusty, it's a long way across Ethiopia, and I hitch part of the time, and part of the time I walk, but finally I miss it, and the hill is steep.
But this passage is never easy.
At the door, my dad's secretaries, the days, the hours, and the century, but they recognize me and say go on in. And there he is, all shining and golden. He's so bright, I can't even look at him. And do you know what he says to me? He says, "My son, you are welcome."
My son, you are welcome.
Speak Phaeton to your father.
Speak Phaeton to your father.
I cannot even tell you what this was to me.